Good afternoon. I'd like to welcome all of you to our free webinar today, How to Get Sponsors to Support Your Fundraiser. Thank you for joining us. This webinar is hosted by DoJiggy LLC. For the past 8 years, DoJiggy has helped more than 2,500 nonprofits, schools, and community organizations raise more money through implementing online fundraising software tools. My name is Carrie, and I will be your key presenter today. I have more than 12 years experience with sponsorships and event marketing. I've managed various community event sponsorships for nonprofits and corporate clients, and have consulted various companies to help them develop sponsor pitches and benefit packages so they can generate more revenue for their event funding. Over the next 30 minutes, I plan to provide guidelines, tips, and helpful information to assist you with your fundraising event sponsorships. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. In summary of what we're going to review today, we are going to talk about why companies sponsor events, look at key opportunities that your event has to offer to potential sponsors. We're going to identify prospects based on the event offerings that you have, as well as why companies are sponsoring and who you have connections with in your community. And then we're going to go ahead and create benefits packages and sponsor levels. And lastly, we will talk about how to foster long-term sponsor relationships with these prospects and companies that you're bringing on board to sponsor your fundraising event. On board to help with your fundraiser. One is branding and awareness. Companies want to get their name out there. They want to build brand for your event by displaying their logo on banners, event collateral, merchandising. An example of companies that use branding to sponsor events would be looking at something like NASCAR. As you can clearly see through watching the cars go around and around the track, logo presence and just being able to be involved and be seen by millions of people every day is a great way for them to really get the name out there and start to create awareness for their brand. Of course, that can be done on a much smaller scale too. Target marketing. This is a great way for companies who want to reach a specific demographic. For example, if your fundraising event is a wine and jazz festival that draws in a very affluent members of the community, this provides companies an opportunity to interact with that specific audience through sponsoring that specific type of event that really caters and draws to that crowd. A promotional tie-in. Companies use fundraising events as a great way to launch a promotion. This could be ideal for a local retailer or a restaurant to use coupons to drive traffic back to their store. Distributing coupons and flyers and things like that on site at your event really helps them get the word out there to the community and really start sending people back into their store. Entertainment. Some companies look for sponsorship opportunities purely as a way to entertain clients or loyal customers. Often professional services companies like investment firms or law firms may look at something like this to really host a VIP hospitality suite where they invite their best customers as really a treat and a thank you for their investment in their company. Lead generation is a big one for companies to come on board to sponsor. They may be looking to build on their database. Perhaps they're launching a new website or pushing promotion through e-commerce. A fundraising event can provide them with an opportunity to offer sign-up incentives and contests where people write down their names and email addresses, and they can really start to build some leads that they can later reach out to again. Product displays and sales. Some companies use events to sell or display their products. When I was marketing director for a sustainable apparel company, we sponsored a number of events that supported our brand positioning, really appealing to people who lived a healthy and sustainable lifestyle. Therefore, we sponsored a number of yoga conferences. This really provided an excellent opportunity for us to sell our specific yoga apparel and yoga mats and accessories at these yoga conferences. An example of sampling and product trial. A lot of companies find themselves using fundraising events as a way for the general public to test out new offerings. This is really great for somebody such as a Cliff Bar or food or beverage companies that may want to do some sampling for a new product they're about to release, and really, give out some bite-sized samples or little Dixie cups of drinks to get some general feedback from the event attendees prior to going to market with this new product. And lastly, public relations, third-party testimonials, offering an inclusion in a story via media sponsorships or purely from a goodwill standpoint. Really, companies that are involved in sponsoring a good cause really end up reflecting positively on their reputation within the community. So now that you know why companies sponsor events, let's look at what your event actually has to offer. What are you trying to accomplish? What are your financial goals? How much money are you trying to raise for the cause that this event is supporting? What about your target audience? Is there a specific group that you're trying to appeal to? Or a certain group of people that you're really trying to inform about what your cause is because it will really benefit them? Look at the expected attendance of your event. How many people do you think will actually be on site during the weekend or the evening of the event? And in addition to that, what other exposure? People will gain exposure to the event more than just on the event day. What kind of outreach and promotional programs will be offered? Are you going to be advertising weeks in advance, doing radio spots, or posting actual print ads in community newspapers? What about public relations? Do you have a campaign in place where you're going to be reaching out to media and hoping for stories to air about your upcoming event? What about database marketing? Do you have an email database that you'll be sending out promotional mentions of the upcoming event? How many people will that go to? What are your other sponsors doing? Will they also be participating in database marketing to reach out to their groups so that they can help to promote your event, and other sponsors will gain exposure through all of these different efforts? Social networking, will you be tweeting about it? Will there be postings on your Facebook page? Will you be running Facebook ads or doing mentions with your groups on LinkedIn? And again, what partnerships will you be building where people will help to really spread the word and help to promote your upcoming event? And then again, community goodwill. How is their involvement in your event? How will that reflect positively on their reputation within the community? So now that we've identified why companies sponsor events and what your event has to offer, let's go ahead and look at who would be appropriate sponsors to come on board for this event. Let's identify some prospects. And how do you do that? First and foremost, look for like-minded brands, companies that really mirror or complement your mission, and companies that fit based on what the event community, and look at other event sponsorships. Perhaps there's other events within the community that sponsors, companies have come on board to sponsor. Perhaps this is going to be a really great way for you to know who to target, because you know these companies are interested in sponsoring other events.
Muted.
Sorry about that brief pause. And then go ahead and utilize your network. Make sure that you contact employees, board members. If you are doing a school fundraiser, reach out to parents. Reach out to other committees, PTO, sports teams, any way that you can help spread the word, or any connections that you have within your network. Really try to reach out to these groups and see if they have connections or leads or contacts within local businesses that might be interested in sponsoring your event. And then, of course, relevant media partnerships. The media is always interested in reaching out and connecting with their community. Radio stations want listeners, newspapers want readers, so offer them a chance to engage by coming on board and sponsoring your event.